Hey YouTube, this is Beggar Dweezil coming at you from the great Indiana wilderness, and today we're out here again in Josie's Hole, which is what I come to call our sand pit, where we're doing our pit house and some other construction. And to give you a quick idea, pan around one time, Josie, and show them the hole. Two massive white hills you got to look at there is the Rushmore of Canada. In any case, you can see we're doing something a little bit different this time. We're going to build a winter shelter, but we're going to build this one above ground. We did the pit house, which is going to work just fine, but it has drawbacks. Number one, it's hard to get into and get out of. Number two, it is cramped. You know, it's small, necessarily so. Now you can put a fire in the corner of it, you know, and you can heat it up against just about any thermal condition, you know. But and it's cool during the summertime. But it is small. It's living in a hole in the ground. So we've decided to do something a little bit different after our last camping adventure, and we've constructed under the educational tutelage of my Native American here. We've made a teepee. What I'd like to emphasize to you is everybody looks around and says, well, damn, yeah, you get a chainsaw, you can make anything. No, this, okay? This entire frame was made with this, and it's a Wally World special for under 10 bucks, okay? Everybody wants to get all freaked out about their equipment and say, you know, well, I bought the super Swedish, you know, well, bullshit, you know. This is just fine. Get 5 of them, you know, and put one every place. Now, this kind of a structure right here, the advantages to this thing is that you can put a fire inside of it, and depending on the covering, it can have a great deal of thermal gain. Now, I'm not a guru, I'm not some wilderness guide, I'm not going to give myself, you know, the name White Wolf and be flying around out here posing. My thing is just this, okay? I've had to live in a lot of gruesome spots, courtesy of your tax dollars, and this is one of the most effective kinds of shelter there is, simply because if you notice, all this is put together with my Wally World saw, some saplings, which you're going to find in any area that's burned out, or in just about any wood line, any place where there's been construction, you'll find saplings like this, and one single piece of our bag rope, which we taught you how to braid in earlier little sessions here. And, you know, all you do is you make a tripod or quadrupod, you know, out of 4 saplings, 3 saplings or 4 saplings. You get it up, spread the legs out, and then you start leaning poles. And this thing right here it holds itself up. Okay? It's dug into the ground, and because of the pressure that's exerted by the weight of the structure, okay, it digs, all it's going to do is dig deeper into the ground. It'll hold up in almost any kind of a storm, and depending on the kind of covering, like I say, you can get a lot of thermal gain out of it. There's only 2 different kinds of shelter that I bother concerning myself with. Again, you know, I'm not trying to be the guru here, but there's only 2 kinds that I concern myself with. One's an emergency shelter, which is you're going to be in a spot for a couple of hours, maybe overnight, and you just need to survive. And the other is a shelter, which what the pit house and this are shelters. The difference being, okay, that an emergency shelter, as far as I'm concerned, is like a life jacket. It's going to keep you alive in an environment and assist you to survive for a limited period of time. One of these is like a lifeboat. It's going to allow you to create your own environment, separate from the thermal concerns of the water and the shit eating you, okay? You can maintain your own environment inside of a shelter, and that's what we want to do. We want to make something that's big enough that we can have a nice fire in the middle, we can have good ventilation, and we can also have space in here to actually live, move around, and if we want a big fire, we can always make one outside. You know, the fire that we want inside is only going to be big enough to heat this structure. We'll be coming back from this time to time to show you, you know, how it is that we're covering it. You know, as you know, there's no mastodons left in Indiana, damn few buffalo, and if you shoot one, you owe somebody money. So, you know, realistically, we're probably going to be using some of the stuff we've talked about, you know, plastic bags or plastic drop cloths or this, that, you know, things that are easily found in an urban or suburban environment that we can use to make this survival shelter. And like I say, we'll be coming back to you periodically, myself and Josephine, and to all you folks that were worried about it when we kind of dropped off the face of the earth. We got kind of busy, but we're back now, and so stay tuned. And don't worry, YouTube, because Indiana's holding.